This is my final verdict video of the Tales of the Valiant Game Master's Guide, a book that I would not have picked up if it was up to me because I really don't like Game Master's Guides and Dungeon Master's Guides in general, but I've come to really absolutely appreciate and love it. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask and this is my verdict video of the Tales of the Valiant Game Master's Guide. This is not a video where I go deep into the PDF or whatever. I'm just gonna sit here and kind of wrap up all of my videos I've already done on this book in one single video, in one single final verdict, final opinion on the Game Master's Guide for Tales of the Valiant by Kobold Press. Now, I want to go off by saying I really absolutely love this book. There is only one flaw with this book, and that is, and it is not a flaw to be understated, but it is a flaw that is there and that I want to talk about and I have to talk about on my channel, and that is the cover. Now, there's nothing wrong with the cover per se. It is an insane piece of artwork. The Tales of Valiant logo is perfectly fine. The font right here is perfectly fine. It is just way too dark. Yes, I might be nitpicky here, but me personally, as a consumer, when I'm like browsing around for new RPGs or 5th edition like RPGs and I want to play, and I know and I've loved Kobold Press for a while, I don't own all of their books, and I'm just like browsing through, I don't know, a brick and mortar shop, and I find this book, I would probably not pick it up. Not because it's a Game Master's Guide, that's a different topic. I don't like Game Master's Guides in general. You might already know that, but I really start loving and appreciating this book. But just as a presentation, this came out too dark, and this is probably a printing thing, and I know this art piece is a void or a shadow dragon. I think it's a void dragon, and it's a dark art piece, and it's meant to be a little bit like dark and mysterious and all of that stuff. I really totally absolutely get that, but just it doesn't really come across on camera. It seems much lighter, but in reality, it is pretty damn dark, and especially if you consider, if you put that next to this one, as you can see, this one is really vibrant, Player's Guide, really vibrant colors. There are the more vibrant colors of the Monster Vault book, and if you put those next to each other, you can really see the difference. You can really see the difference, and that's just something that I want to put out there, but it is also the only flaw that I can actually come up with when it comes to the Game Master's Guide by Kobold Press. Now, who is this book for, and why would you get it, and what do you get for your money? Now, there is, up until now, to my opinion, there's only one good Game Master's Guide written ever, and that is the 4th edition Dungeon Master's Guide. You can think about 4th edition whatever you want. I liked it as an RPG. It didn't really feel classic Dungeons and Dragons, but I also liked that it felt fresh and it felt fun, and it was fast, and the classes were really original. I absolutely loved 4th edition, but the Dungeon Master's Guide was absolutely great. This is one of the most usable Dungeon Master's Guides ever. It's full of stuff that you as a game master can actually use. It even goes into like, it even has like stat blocks and like a dungeon, like just like, this is a dungeon that is in there just for you, like, hey, here is a dungeon, run this dungeon for your players to practice being a game master. That is how this book approached game mastering, and 5th edition completely, utterly, absolutely murdered it, and I won't even talk about that book. But now there's another one. And I have to say, this one is bigger, better, greater, and everything it's just insane. Now, it is for people who play either Tales of the Valiant or 5th edition, or basically any 5th edition tabletop RPG, because yes, Tales of the Valiant is completely compatible with 5th edition and the other way around. I've been playing 5th edition with Tales of the Valiant rules. I've been playing Tales of the Valiant with 5th edition rules. I makeshift my own thing, but Tales of the Valiant doesn't really introduce any new rules. It introduces some optional rules, but you can perfectly play 5th edition like you've always been playing, and then add the Tales of the Valiant classes and all of that stuff, and the Dungeon Master's Guide just does everything a Dungeon Master's Guide needs to do, even if you don't play Tales of the Valiant. If you are a 5th edition player, if you are a 5th edition game master, picking this one up can be really worthwhile as well. Now, what do I mean by that in particular? Now, most Game Master's Guides, what they do wrong, Game Master's Guides, Dungeon Master's Guide, what they do wrong is half of the book, 50-60% of the book is fluff. It's all about how to run a game, and you shoot should improvise, or you shouldn't improvise, or you should railroad, or you shouldn't railroad, and you should bring tacos and nachos to the table, and you should buy your game master some pizza, and you should do this, and you should not make fun of people unless they make fun of you, and then you make fun of them, and then you have like a fist fight, and whoever wins get to stay on the group. And only part of the book is actual stuff you can use. Now, imagine yourself going to a theater group, a theater school or whatever. You go to your local theater group and you have like a workshop, and they're just like, you improvise. And you're like, I've never improvised. How do I improvise? And they're like, you just improvise. Just spit it out. That's not how you teach people to improvise. That's not how you teach people to do anything. How do you teach people to do anything? Is by giving them the proper tools, giving them the proper things, graspable tools to actually do those things. And that is what the Tales of the Valiant Game Master's Guide and this one do very, very, very well. They give you the tools in the form of mostly random rolling tables or tables with options. If you want an NPC to have a quirk, you roll on a quirk table. You always get like this little sentence that just gets you going. And with improvisation, that's really important. For example, you go to a theater group and a person is like, you improvise. And you're like, about what? And they're like, about a dragon. And you're like, what kind of dragon? It's a yellow dragon. And where is this dragon? It's in a city. Okay, this dragon is in a city and it's completely rich and you start improvising about that dragon. That is because you gotten the right tools to start improvising. And that comes with every skill. That comes with campaign building. That comes with world building. That comes with adventure writing. That comes with plot hooks. That comes with plot changes. That comes with every aspect of game mastering. And the Game Master's Guide is, I'm gonna speak real quickly, I think it's 300 pages-ish. Exactly 300 pages of all of that stuff. Graspable tools to build NPCs, to build towns, to build dungeons, to build monsters, to come up with treasure that makes sense, treasure that actually makes sense, even treasure that doesn't make sense but makes sense in a funny way. If you want to give your players 5 gold pieces, but you don't want to give them 5 gold pieces like actual gold pieces, you want to give them something that's worth 5 gold pieces. In most Game Master's Guides, it just says you get a trinket that is worth 5 gold pieces. Nowhere does it state what kind of trinket that is. Here, you have a random rolling table that gives you like, I don't know, 100 trinkets for you to choose from, which is all random crap that's worth 5 gold pieces. Now, if you want actual examples of what I'm saying right now, you should check out my other videos where I dig deeper into the PDF. This is, again, just wrapping up. But one example of it is where you have these random rolling tables for encounters by region. For example, a swamp encounter. You want to roll a swamp encounter. And you have like a tier 1 swamp encounter list, right? It's a D12. You roll a D12. And it's, instead of it saying there's a scout, which most Dungeon Master's Guides do, you encounter a fucking scout. That's it. It says, a lone scout wanders the marshes. They have been lost for days while using a worn map to hunt for a family treasure their uncle secretly buried. If the PCs help them, blah 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 blah. It gives the right amount of information for you as a game master to get going, but it doesn't give too much information. It leaves everything open for you as a game master to actually build a small little side quest or an adventure about it. It is not something that you need to pick up or something that the players need to pick up on. They might completely ignore it, but it is there for you as a game master to take and put into your game if you decide to roll a d12. That is how you properly build a Game Master's Guide. Now, let's just read from the back really quickly. Great storytellers make great stories. The Game Master's Guide for the Tales of the Valiant role-playing game contains everything GMs need to build their narratives, exciting combats, and compelling adventures. Spot on, right? Shadow. Okay. Learn what your players enjoy, customize your game to their playstyles, and keep everyone engaged and enthusiastic. That's a bit like generic. Start world building with clear, useful tables, checklists, and creative prompts to craft a unique, fresh setting. So they just summarize in one sentence what I've been talking about for like 4 videos, basically. That is what this book is. Start world building with clear, useful tables, checklists, and creative prompts to craft a unique, fresh setting. That's it. Raise your exploration, social and combat encounters up a notch with advanced tools and techniques for maximizing their potential. Yes, there's more rules about luck, there's more rules for doom points, there's more like, there's entire things to build like your own encounters, but also how to like completely from the start build your own monsters. You can completely build your own monster. You can even like have, I don't know, a random monster in your head and be like, I'm gonna build that, sit down with this book outside of a session, which is, by the way, a very fun thing to do. Just sit at your kitchen table with a cup of coffee, pen and paper, and start building a monster stat block from scratch using the rules that are in here, which is this is just something that I really need to do on my channel. It's really cool. Homebrew monster, character options, and more like the pros. And more like the pros with advice, best practices, and building block exam. I don't get that sentence. That's a go beyond the basics and build your game your way with the Game Master's Guide for Tales of the Valiant RPG. Build worlds, craft adventures, and run your games. It's in cursive. Your games. Run your games. That wraps up my opinion for the Game Master's Guide by Kobold Press. If you want a more in-depth look in the book and why exactly I like the things that I said in this video that I like, make sure to check out my other videos on the subject. But there is much more of Tales of the Valiant to dig into. I started loving this book way too much, which means that I've been digging into it and kind of leaving the other books on the side for a while. But yeah, the Monster Vault is something that I want to dig deeper into in the near future. If you want to see that, hit the thumbs up. Put in the comments what monster you want me to talk about, because I really want to dig deeper into the Monster Vault, because Kobold Press already like announced they were going to do a second one, and I've yet to like cover this one in depth. And then there's more like character options and magic items and all of that stuff that I want to talk about in the other book. So if you want to see more Tales of the Valiant content on my channel, hit the thumbs up, subscribe under this video, and put in the comments what you want me to talk about. Also, if you're interested in the Game Master's Guide or any of the other Tales of the Valiant books, hit the link in the description below. It is an affiliate link. I pick up a few bucks if you get it. And until next video, bye-bye.